Hey everyone, it's Rob here from Octagon and here with another Divi UI challenge. I believe this is our fifth one. I think fourth, fifth, losing count. Anyway, it's a good one. And what you should see on your screen right now is what we're going to be building out within Divi. It's really cool. Exactly what it is and how it could be used within a website, I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess the style and the layout of it could be quite adaptable really, and used for a whole bunch of different things. But the main reason I made this one is because I wanted to make something that used the branding of a very familiar brand to us all, being Netflix. And the reason I wanted to do this is this branding project by this agency Gretel is one of my more favorite branding projects that I've read about in recent years. Just really cool. If you got time, if you're into branding at all and you've got time, have a look at this. It's just really cool how the whole principle of reusable or adaptable components, they call it the stack. And what it does is it basically allows designers within Netflix to express the brand in many different ways, but just within the framework of what they call the stack. So really, really cool. And that's where the inspiration for this one has come from. So let's go new page. Call it Netflix tiles. Use the Divi builder. Blank page. Let's just hit publish. I'm going to use the visual builder for this one. Waiting. My Mac is running a little slow today. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, so we've got the section that it gives us off the bat. And I've got a couple of colors here, just the red and the black that we see being used here. So I'm going to grab the black. It's not quite black really, it's a dark gray. And I'm going to give that color to the background section just like that. Alright, so in columns we're going to do a 3-column row. And it's going to be 2/4 and a half, so just like that there. And the middle row is red, so let's grab our red. Go to the settings for the row, design, column 2 is what we're looking for, column 2 background color. Perfect. Alright, while we're in row settings as well, I'm just going to go back to general, make this row full width, yes. Use custom gutter width, yes. Set that down to 1. Custom padding on the entire row, we'll just hit 0 and 0. Could have done the drag stuff, but while we're in here, we can do that here. We'll keep it custom padding on mobile as well. Design, up to the top there. Let's just remove the margin on top and bottom. Equalize column heights, that's what we need, I believe. Okay, while we're here, let's go column 1 background image. Somewhere in here, I should have Mr. Bond himself. There he is. Alrighty. Still got a bit of padding on the bottom of that row. Oh, that's because I put it in the wrong spot. There we go. I'm just going to do the padding and margin settings just within the settings panel themselves today. There we go. Alright, so we've got the basic layout for our 3 columns. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to add these 2 components of text. So let's do this. So in our 3rd column, we're adding a text module. We want it to be light, left, and let's go licensed to kill. Design, oops, I am going to, I guess it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to set this to heading 1. So max width is fine. Heading font. Alright, the font I use is one I use all the time. Is Montserrat. I think, did I all caps it? No, I didn't. Just made it really big. So let me just drag this out of the way. I think I had it at 130 in the other one, but I might just drop it down to maybe even 100 just for now. Header text color, that is fine, all good. Actually, I do want to make it bold as well. Great. The next one we had was another text one. And light left, and I think I just said something. Bond is back 19th of July. That's just a date I picked out of thin air. Doesn't mean anything. Alrighty. Design. Scroll down to text font. I can't actually remember what I had. No, it wasn't Arvo. It's just a nice little sans serif font like that, which I think looks good. Increase the size a bit. Looks good. I think that is mostly it. I might just change the line height a touch. Okay, didn't do exactly what I expected it to do, but that's fine. All right, we've got the main components now. Now it's just about tweaking to get things the way we want them. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some padding to our third column. So I'm in the row settings here. Column 3, custom padding. I'll give it 80. That might be a bit much, but let's roll with that. No, that looks about right. Next thing I'm going to do is on the big text, I'm going to give it some margin on the bottom. I don't believe, oh no, there is, here we go. That looks pretty good. I wasn't sure if there was a settings field for the margin for text modules, but there is. So if there wasn't, you can always apply it in CSS. Next thing I'm going to do is I did forget to all caps or capitalize our text down the bottom here. So let's do that now. Where am I? Here we go. Let's reduce that font size now. All right, one little thing we're going to do with the CSS for this little text module is give it some padding on the left and a red border on the left. So main element, we're going to get border, 2 pixels, solid. Oops, no, not border, border left. Grab our red. Close that line, and we're also going to add some padding. Let's just rein that in a bit to 20. Great. Cool, that is looking good. So that looks good, that looks good. All right, the next thing we're going to do is, see over here, got a bit of this shadow effect, which effectively gives it the stacked feel that we're going for. So CSS-matic for box shadow, as I always say, it's good to know what these sort of generators are producing for you, but once you do know, it's certainly okay to use these because it is tedious to write it all out from scratch. Horizontal length 0. Actually, I'm going to go, I might have to play around with these a little bit. Blur radius 50. Actually, what I need to do is, what we haven't done before is actually going to go inset. So you can see it sits within the element itself. 50-50 blur radius. And as always, it's a bit of one of those sort of just play and try things. Oops. 30, blur radius 30. All right, let's try that, see what that looks like. And we want to apply it to the rows. So we're going to be applying it to column 2. because like I said, when you have it set to inset, it applies the shadow to the element itself. And you can see there that the shadow is on the second column. So column 2 main element. There we go. And we also want it on column 3. Now because we have a very dark background, you can only just see it. And unless you know it's there, you don't really see it. It's just sort of a very, very subtle effect, but it just sort of almost subconsciously gives us that stacked effect. Alright, so there's our shadows. The next thing we want to do is we want to change the widths of these columns a little bit. Now this is a little bit, this may cause you issues on different screen sizes, so as always just play and make sure it works. So I am going to go to settings for the row again, CSS, and column main elements. Sorry, column 2 is what I'm after. So where we've got the shadow there, I'm just going to put it at the top. Now let me think. Max width. I'll put 50% in there. I'm not sure if I have to put important. Let's see what happens when I remove that. I don't have to put it. So there we go. That's pretty close actually to the style that I was going for. Looks like I did some work on column 1 as well. How would... There you go. That looks about right. I think the last thing I might do is just increase the margin on the bottom of this text a little bit more. Maybe up to 220. Great. That is looking pretty good. Looks really nice. Really simple one, but a bit of fun. Bit of fun to make this one. Let's have a look and see what it does on this different screen sizes. Okay, because we were running the backgrounds on these are, that one's an image, that one's a color, but effectively these two columns are empty. The only reason we're seeing them is because at desktop all columns are set to be equalized height, and so when we do go to the smaller screen sizes, those two empty columns effectively collapse and disappear. A couple of different ways around that, but I guess I can leave that to you and have a bit of a challenge to figure that one out for yourself. But yeah, nice easy one, bit of fun. And if you can get this far and do this, I challenge you to have a go at doing something like this. So getting just using the Divi sliders available to you, in the Divi builder, and just instead of using text modules, using the slider modules to create this sort of slider effect. Obviously, you got to work on things like making sure the timing for each slider is matched. But yeah, that was a bit of fun. So that's, if you can get as far as building out this first phase, I challenge you to having a go yourself at turning it into a slider. But that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week for another Divi UI challenge. See ya.